Hello, everybody! It is Irrational Radio here with the fourth episode of the Misadventures of the Accidental Travelers. We are joined tonight by Eric playing the Ochre Echo, Rachel playing Annabelle, and Sam playing Wayman Stokes. They have just made it to the city of Aresia in Paralandia. They've crossed over from Fairchild into Goldridge. After, several adventures already, they've killed an owlbear, collected a mysterious broken gem known as the Traveling Gem, and...
Didn't kill the owlbear, did we?
No, you didn't kill the owlbear. You fought an owlbear. That's right, and then returned his egg. So, been pretty all right so far.
We did that too. That's right.
It is the, say, noon as you guys crest one of the famous ridges that begin the eastern side of the Arborean Plate, where the country of Goldridge is located. The environment changes quite a bit as you pass into Goldridge. Fairchild has been really bad with their landscape. They've strip mined, there's a lot of pollution, a lot of bad farming practices, but Goldridge prides itself in its scenic beauty. As you cross in, you see these large hills that end in cliff faces, some very large and some smaller. They're covered in green grass that is slowly turning into gold the further east you go. There are also these tall golden flowers. They look like bluebonnets, but bright yellow and deep crimson, deep gold. The entire place seems pretty magical. Like even the trees are tinged with gold as well. You guys approach the main city of Aresia. It is built on top of one of these cliffs, one of these hills that end in cliff. The cliff face is on the west of the city here, as a change over for you guys here. You guys are coming in from the northwest along the Lightbrook Road here. You're approaching the northwestern gate. You have to pass through these slums called Long Lane here. And like I said, you're just outside of the slums outside of Aresia. They're not necessarily slums, more like lower quality housing. They're not slums in the technically, like they're all shacks. There are still pretty well maintained and pretty well built. They're just not in the safety of the walls. So it's not necessarily like squalid living conditions, but it's definitely lower income. These people are farmers or blacksmiths or poor tailors, not necessarily rich and upcomers. The walls are made of bright white glittering stone called glitterstone that is common in the area, and it's hewn from the central Goldridge area and then exported out to these outside border towns. As you pass through Long Lane, you see that there is a lot of people going to and fro. It's late afternoon, so people are just getting off of work and starting to have supper. Dinner in Goldridge is kind of a community affair in that everyone brings out what they're eating into the street or out in front of their house, and they eat among their neighbors. They don't eat the same food, but they eat like in the presence of the community. And this is something that is beginning to happen here. People are putting out their tables and their chairs, and they're beginning meals along the sides of the street. The smells are wonderful. You guys have not eaten since breakfast, and you're pretty travel weary. There are some inns in Long Lane. They're got some quaint names like the Beggar's Quill and the Sparse Sparrow. But they're pretty low quality. Better inns are located further into town, but it's up to you guys whether you want to stay in Long Lane and just kind of skirt around the city, or if you want to go through it. I know that you wanted to maybe stop by a job board inside the main city, which would be located in the trade district in the center there, just north of the Bright Way, or the Bright Hill. So yeah, we'll begin. You guys approach the shanty town, or not the shanty town, but the lower quality houses of Long Lane.
I guess the Echo is kind of, looking around. He says, should we all stay in the, I guess, outside the walls, or perhaps we should, just breeze through and check the job postings, and after that we can, sort of pass through the city.
It might be worthwhile to find a place to stay for a few days. Maybe we check out the locals around Long Lane and see if there's some place that we can shack up. And then we can hop on over to the job board, and after we've set our stuff down and made our spot to sleep,
So we're just gonna let Jeffrey walk on in then? Are we keeping him a secret this time?
I like secrets.
It might be best if we. Well, okay, so he hasn't had like an episode. Too bad. Other than
He did freeze people.
yeah,
And
well, he also
turn
turned
all
people
of those people
invisible.
invisible.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
and
And
he
then
almost,
he exploded that one time.
yeah, but he had okay. So that was my point: is that he hasn't exploded for some time.
That is true. It has been well.
We should ask
several
him.
days.
Jeffrey.
Oh yeah, he's definitely the the best person to ask
I
about
think
his
it's
own abilities.
fair we get like his opinion about it at least.
He
What
just-
do you think, Jeffrey? Do you think you can contain yourself?
Just standing there in the middle of the guys holding the staff and just like, yes, I think so. I think I have it under control. I can't let go of the staff, but I do, I at least know how to cause magic. As long as I don't strain too hard, I should be okay.
Okay. Wayman kind of taps his fingers together. So, to gauge how sure you are, what would you say to making a little bet?
Okay.
Yeah, a little fun wager. What do you have to wager? In fact,
I have this staff.
yeah, but you can't really give that. So
Yes.
I have my hot pad shoes.
that's nothing I want.
Those look bespoke. I'm not sure that they would be much
Oh.
use to anyone but you.
I'm talking about that cold iron, that jingles around, right? That little gold nuggets,
Oh,
trinkets, maybe.
I don't actually have any gold. This might surprise you, but I kind of survive off of the goodwill of others around me.
That doesn't surprise me.
Yeah, I'm not
Actually-
surprised at all, actually.
You seem
What
quite
surprises
dependent.
me is that you have survived this long. Not that, it is relying upon others, but
Okay,
that it
okay.
has been successful.
How about this, Jeffrey? We get a job, and we do well in the job, and we make it, a couple nights without you blowing things out of proportion. And the
Okay.
next city, if we get kicked out early, you buy us all rounds.
All right, deal. I'll make that bet.
Okay.
He holds out his hand.
Oh yeah, I forgot. I have. Okay, yeah, I'll shake your hand, and I shake it.
It's kind of sticky.
Yeah, I'm also pretty clammy as well naturally.
Is,
So I
is his
mean,
mage hand,
know.
right? Or is it the?
Oh yeah, I guess it would be the main chant. Yeah, it's also sticky.
Okay.
It's kind of for some
Well,
reason. It's
I
a
hate
little
I'll
that.
shake his
sticky,
hand. I'll shake his mage hand with my mage hand.
Oh,
if
there
that's
you
what it's
go.
gonna
Yeah,
be.
there you go.
Okay,
There you go.
we're good.
All right, yeah, like I said, you guys are heading into here. You said you wanted to sleep here in.
Yeah, find an inn outside of town here. It sounded like.
Okay, yeah, the closest one is the Beggar's Quill. It's a 2-story inn/tavern. Bottom floor is tavern. Upstairs is rooms.
Excellent. This should serve our purposes excellently.
What's it kind of look like? I guess.
It's not terrible. It is made of simple wood. It's got a good strong foundation, wooden floors. The exterior is, it's splattered with mud. It's well traveled, but it's not like, doesn't have like insects coming out the doors or anything like that. It's got all its windows, glass
It's
in
seen
there.
some love.
It's seen
Some love
some
from
love.
the world.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's like, that Motel 8, off
Yeah,
the
yeah.
I-80 turnpike.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know the one.
Yeah.
Yeah. Familiar.
Mm-hmm. So like that,
Um,
there's that kind of smell. It doesn't smell bad, but it's like, oh, this has been cleaned a lot.
It's like dirty pool.
Yeah, dirty pool. Yeah, it smells like a dirty pool.
Wayman takes his cloak and kind of like shuffles it and stands there. Yeah, this'll do. This is home. Oh yeah, I can feel it, guys. This is the one. This is where we're gonna stay tonight. How excited are y'all?
It seems it should be plenty adequate. He's gonna, looking over him and weird smell. Like, that's good. Okay. Shrug.
Yeah.
it's-
Annabelle's confused too. She looks at you like, it's probably fine, right? Like,
Let me explain myself. We're not gonna have people chasing us here. There's not gonna be hangabouts. It looks, orderly. Like, I look over at the tavern owner or whatever. He doesn't look like he gives two shits about anything, but he also doesn't put up with no nonsense. So I'm feeling it. I like this place.
Well, let us get a room then. I am not especially concerned about the nature of our accommodations. I think it will just be a place to rest our heads between, services to the public. And he, puffs his chest out and does big heroic pose as always.
I'll go up to the tavern owner.
Yeah.
Hello.
Yeah. Hey, how's it going, handsome? We're looking for for one big room, 4 rooms. I haven't talked to my party yet. How you guys want 2 bedrooms?
How
What's the
much
situation?
is a room?
That's a good point.
1 golden night.
one room.
Yeah, but each room's got 2 beds.
I mean, somebody's got a room with Jeffrey, right?
Draw straws. Roll.
It is. How about this? I will stay with Jeffrey. It is fine.
Well,
I enjoy regaling him with my tales and stories.
You're the mage, right? Like, you're supposed to be teaching him magic. Wouldn't this be a
Oh,
good
that
time
is a
for
good
you
point.
to
Oh,
do
nice.
that?
No, here's the thing about me. I study in the morning. That's when I study, and that's when I teach. I do not teach at night. That is my bedtime.
Oh, okay. I wouldn't mind staying with the Echo. You do have such an entertaining way of speaking.
Yeah, and aren't you like his squire, like of sorts?
He could teach you some sword play.
Yeah.
I am not especially familiar with bladed weapons, but I'm certain I could teach you some fundamentals of defending yourself.
Well, what's it gonna be?
2 rooms.
2 rooms. That'd be 2 gold. Would you
I,
like the in-house ale service?
I slide him for gold coins. Wait, hold on. In-house ale service?
Yes.
Is that when you come to our rooms with ale?
Well, no, we for a flat fee, we bring a keg of ale to your room and install a
tap?
A tap, yes, that's a
Okay.
tap. And then you drink off of it, and then that's
Well, I do find myself to be a connoisseur of the spirits. Would
Oh.
you like to? Is it possible I could sample your delicious nectar?
of course. He comes over and brings you a little tumbler and he hands it to you.
Oh, thank you. And I pull it back, and I swill it around.
It is the equivalent of Coors Light.
This is awful. I hate it.
It appears to be urine.
It's very watered down and stale. It's
Well, I mean,
it has no bite.
it's cheap.
There's nothing.
Hey, buddy, if you want to get better alcohol, you got to go into the city for that.
It is a good deal, obviously. I imagine
Poverty.
you get a lot of like spring breaking college students.
Oh,
here.
yes. Absolutely.
Poverty is by no means the requirements of shitty ale. You are just a poor brewmaster.
I don't make this.
Yes.
Oh, okay. Well, you should
generally.
find a better outlet. But okay, that's a pass from me.
Well, here are the keys to your rooms.
Thanks. I'll go upstairs with my luggage and start putting it away.
Did
All
it
right.
also taste like urine as we're like going up the stairs?
It was warm, like not at a room temperature warm either. That I like to, have some ales. But this was just, yeah, it was bad.
like bath water.
Yeah.
I
I don't
like
even-
drinking my bath water.
Ew.
Jeffrey, that's gross.
Well, I think it's
Salty.
yeah. Doesn't everyone drink their bath water?
A gag. Stop. And then he tries to plug his ear. Stop. Just stop.
I'm about to throw up.
Who raised you? I don't understand.
Yeah. Just kind of shakes his head.
So now you know drinking your bathwater is a little weird.
It's
Don't do it
socially
anymore.
wrong.
It is strange, to say the least.
I was told it was environmentally friendly.
By
It is
who?
less wasteful.
Hold on a second. Let me ask you one thing. Was the person who told you this perhaps a childhood bully of yours?
Well, not a childhood bully. I was an adult, but I was trying to go through, the night school of Arboreal. There was a few men there who, they gave me advice that I guess that's just another piece of it that just was designed to torture me.
They were messing with you.
Yes.
Yeah.
Did you like ever see them drink their bathwater?
Well, no, but they, I never saw them bathe either.
Oh. Okay, but you haven't watched me bathe.
I was about to say, did they watch you bathe regularly?
How many people do you watch bathe?
Well, no, see, I was the
This
newest
really brings up a lot of
recruit.
questions.
I was the newest recruit. They said it so that they had to make sure I could drink all of my bath water. Then I would be able to become a knight. He kind of starts tearing up a
Nice.
little bit.
Classic hazing.
But no matter how many bathtubs I drank, they still wouldn't
Oh,
let
God,
me be
stop.
a knight.
Stop. N-O.
Is
That's
it-
not really what makes you a knight, Jeffrey. Those men were messing with you.
Well, I know that now.
And bathtubs worth of water.
You know what you need?
Did you
need-
actually drink the whole bathtub?
That is,
Well, not in one go. They saved it for me.
Have you ever
is
thought
quite
about
thoughtful of them?
Have you ever thought about not remembering terrible moments of your life?
Yes,
just
I-
locking it away and bottling it up for future you to
I
like
might
reminisce
consider
on and
repressing that as
sad.
well.
I
sad
lost
about-
my memory a while ago, but the staff, it's brought it back. Many of those forgotten memories have resurfaced in the last few days, and that was one of them.
Okay.
To be honest, I'm kind of excited for you to like regain memories as we go. It's going to be an adventure for everybody.
That is one
Yes.
way to look at it.
That is one way
Ain't
to
it?
look at it. Should we go look at the job board now?
I was thinking it may be best if you stay here,
Aw.
outside of town, perhaps. And he looks around to the rest of the people, see what they think about that.
Yeah, let us
Yeah.
check it out. Yeah, I think that's probably wise.
Actually, I suppose there is no need for the entirety of our group to head that way. He shrugs and probably, starts settling down, I suppose.
All right, so just
I
me
will
and
keep an
Wayman
eye
then.
on Jeffrey. Well, I was figuring, I guess one person could go check the job board, but no, we all gotta, I don't know, It's yeah, whatever. He'll hang
He's
out, keep
fine.
Jeffrey busy,
Oh,
company.
Are you sure he'll be fine if he just sits here?
I really
How about
do
this? How about
enjoy
this?
telling him
I look
tales.
at my.
He kind of crosses his
Oh,
arms.
okay.
He is such a
Sure.
captive audience.
That's
That's
I was
probably
gonna.
true. I mean, honestly, Jeffrey's
I
amazed by like everything.
I rarely get, so much praise heaped upon me from such a single individual.
All right. Well, Annabelle, shall we?
I'll like bow. After you, sir.
I flail my cloak, my bathrobe aside and start walking out. Thank you, my miss.
It's such an aesthetic. I love it. The cloak flowing, it's wonderful.
Thank you. It is a cloak. It's not a bathrobe. A lot of people say that. It is definitely a cloak.
Yeah, own it. Call it a cloak, and other people will start
Yeah.
calling it a cloak as well.
Exactly.
So you guys leave the Beggar's Quill and head further into town, crossing the gate. It's still open. They do guard it, but they're letting people travel freely back and forth. You pass down the Lightbrook Way to the trade district in the middle of the town. There is 2 large ponds next to the trade district, that are flanking a large hill on which the fortress of the city is built upon. It's called the Bright Hill Fortress, and the trade district is kind of winding down a little bit. Most people right now are actually out on the street eating. Like I said, they've got their tables and they're all sharing meals, shouting back at one another. Some people are like bringing things over for people to try. It's all a very communal kind of deal. You arrive at the job board. It is a large wooden board where people can nail their requests for people looking for odd jobs. It is just covered in people either looking for items that have been recently stolen within the last 4 days or wanted posters for what the city guard can only call the little thieves right now.
What you suppose they mean by little thieves? You think they're like stealing little things?
Oh, you cut out a little bit.
On the end there.
Or do you think they're stealing little things, or do you think they are little people?
I mean, what I think, between you and I have a little bit of experience with thievery. And where I come from, what we do, we're used to, people who ran thieves guilds, they would have children steal things from people, pickpocketing, sneaking into houses.
Oh, so it's like a little bit A, a little bit B. It's like both.
Probably.
Someone runs into you, Wayman. Roll me a perception check, please.
Yeah. Ooh. Sure thing, boss. Let me get my thing open here. Sorry.
Nice. All right.
Yeah, 19.
With a 19, you are able to perceive that the bump, someone reached into one of your pockets, and you turn to see the person that did. They actually did get something out of your pockets. You can feel that your bathrobe's weight is all different now. Yeah, go on.
Could I, sleight of hand, slip my rodent into one of their pockets or bags?
Sure, go ahead. Yeah. It is a figure that is maybe about 4 feet tall. They've got a cloak, and you missed. You dropped your
Damn.
bug on the ground. You see that as they notice that you've turned to look at them, they look at you, and you see that the lower half of their face is wrapped up in bandages. It looks pretty strange. They make eye contact with you and then take off through the crowd.
Okay, so did my perception
If you
stop them from stealing from
no,
me?
they successfully stole from you, but you were able to perceive them stealing from you. They
Okay.
have something that was taken from your pockets.
I mean, obviously, when I drop my rodent on the ground, I will not pick him up. I will just start running after the person.
Okay.
But I'm not gonna shout or anything like that.
All
But yeah, I'm sure Annabelle notices that I take off running.
Yeah, exactly. You just see Wayman just take off through the crowd. What are you gonna do?
Gonna throw my hands up, go what, and just start running after him, I suppose.
Yeah.
All right, so you follow this guy. He's trying to lose you in the crowd, but as most people aren't moving, they're just kind of sitting and eating. It's very hard for him. He is maybe 10 feet away from you. You guys are moving at roughly the same speed, but he is very acrobatic. He is doing some parkour shit. So you're gonna need to roll me 2 acrobatics checks to keep it up with him.
Mm.
Me as well.
Parkour's like,
Yes, but you're keeping up with Wayman. You haven't noticed the figure that he's chasing after.
Okay, so I need to make 1 acrobatic check.
Yep.
That's a nat 1.
All right, so
solid.
Yeah.
the figure vaults a couple of crates that are someone has set out. Wayman, you attempt to do the same thing and instead trip and fall over them. Annabelle, you jump over and land on the other side of the crates to see Wayman kind of folded over, kind of shrimping right now with his feet like over his head.
Yeah, feet overhead for
Yep.
sure.
Can I
Sliding
grab
through
him
mud.
and flip him as
Yeah,
I
yeah.
like run by him?
Oh, nice.
Roll me a perception check.
Me?
Yes.
Yeah.
You see the figure. So you are
Uh-huh.
yeah, so you just kind of flip him up onto his feet as you're continuing to run. You guys have lost a little bit of distance. He's now about 15 feet away from you. And you see him duck into an alleyway.
Let's fucking get him, right? Let's go.
Yeah, I'm brushing mud off of me and just trying to keep up now that I'm behind her.
You guys
Watch out for anybody around corners. Don't get shanked, please.
you guys run into the alley to see him go hup, 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 up a wall and over a into another alley or a courtyard. You guys are gonna have to roll me another acrobatics check to get up there.
Could she, on the fly, throw me over the wall?
Yeah. Oh yeah. Absolutely.
Perhaps.
Yep. She's gonna have to make an athletics check.
Time to launch me. I'm not gonna make it up there.
Heck yeah. I'm gonna pick you up and I'm gonna say, you ready? And just fucking throw you without even.
I was thinking like cupping your hands in front of me and like I'll jump and like plant my foot on your feet or your hands and then you just launch.
So with a 12, you clip the wall but make it over. You're gonna take a D6 of damage.
That's cool.
Take 5 damage, and you're
Cool.
gonna need to roll me a dexterity saving throw as you fall onto the other side of the wall.
Okay. Dexterity saving.
Yep.
Ooh,
Nice. All
That's
right.
a 21.
Yeah, you don't take. So you clip the wall, you hit your shin, and you do a flip over the wall, but then you land right on your feet.
I do a 3-point landing and then I just like my hand kind of slips and I like kind of stumble.
And you see the cloaked figure drop into a well, though it has been covered. You are in the courtyard of some kind of what looks like old church or maybe like an abbey that's in the Beggar's Cliffs area of the city. It looks like he has gone into a well that has been boarded up.
Okay.
Annabelle, you're on the other side of the wall.
Yeah, I'm gonna sort of giant my way through this.
Okay.
Want acrobatics, right, to try and climb up this wall.
Yep, you can roll me
You
acrobatics.
do like an athletics.
I'll let you
Oh,
roll an
okay.
athletics if you'd like to try to go through the wall.
Climbs
What about
you.
jumping
Yeah.
though? Athletics is climbing.
Yeah, I'll let you use athletics if you want to climb the wall.
Okay.
Just Kool-Aid Man. I mean, that
Yeah,
is kind of
right.
cool if you wanted to.
I mean, hell yeah. Like, do that if that's an option.
Will a 20 get me through the wall?
Oh, yeah, it will.
Yeah, I'm just gonna go through the wall.
Yeah, it's just whoosh through the wall to see Wayman standing there bleeding a little bit from one shin.
I just look behind me like, oh shit.
I didn't realize I could do that, or I wouldn't have thrown you. Sorry.
Well, yeah, property damage is, a crime. Some places, hopefully nobody cares too much.
I'm
you
really
went in that
hoping
well.
this is like an abandoned building, but we'll see, right?
We'll see. Yeah, he went in that well. Not sure if we should chase after him until we get linked back up with our friend here.
I mean, like, why are we chasing him? I
Oh,
just
he
saw you
stole
like.
something from me, and I'm pretty sure he stole the Traveler's Stone. I'm gonna check.
Oh,
He stole the Traveler's Stone and all the money that you have.
Yeah, he stole the money. Okay, so little people here, probably children, maybe a small race. Don't know. I'm not being prejudiced. Just saying, little people stole from me.
all right. Well, I don't know that we should go all the way back and get Oka Echo and Jeffrey. We might lose him.
Yeah, but here's the thing. I do know he went down in the well, and that's probably where his operations are.
I will also say you don't seem to, he didn't notice you see him go into the well.
Okay, good, very good. Yeah, so that's what happened. But yeah, I don't think we should go in quite yet. And also, I don't want to go in to go beat the shit out of some kids who are small folk, whatever. I'd rather just like to have a conversation with them, and maybe we can pick up that bounty if that's a thing, or
Yeah, that's fair. That's fair. All right.
or we could bribe them. We can bribe them and tell them like,
What with the money that they stole from you?
well,
You
they
can like
probably have
keep
more.
it
They
if
stole
you.
from me, and we know that they stole from other people, so they probably have some wealth.
Yeah, I bet they do. Well, all right. So I guess we go back then. I just crushed this wall for no reason.
Yeah, I'm sorry. That seems anticlimactic now that you did that. It was like kind of a huge thing, and here
That's
I
all
am
right.
kind of killing the mood.
It's like the story of my whole life is anticlimactic. So
Yeah. Well,
So while you
Okay,
guys
let's
come
walk
back, Okareko, what story are you telling Jeffrey right now?
Oh boy, let's see. He's probably regaling him about the time that he I'll just steal something from Puss in
Oh, yeah.
Boots because I can't think of anything else. See, the time he this, and then I defeated the invisible werewolf and said more like, "Where is he, wolf?"
You guys come in at the same time as Jeffrey's like,
oh, for
oh,
God's sake.
you need to write these down.
He's like standing on the bed, probably.
A cloak billowing with no obvious air.
Yep.
I turn the fan off. No. So
Hi, what did you guys find?
bad news.
Oh,
Did we
good
find
news?
gainful employment?
Yeah.
We found
Yes.
we found a lead, and I will be employing your services because I am of need now.
do you need my services too?
Probably not.
Aw.
Echo. So we were looking at the board, and yada yada yada. There's little people stealing things, and some little person bumped into me. No more Traveler Stone, no more money. I am out. So
When you say little people, are they like children?
They could be.
or a small. We are not sure. Excellent.
they,
So
they
there's
were
a
bandaged.
decent chance
They were
that
bandaged around their face.
a bunch of children may have a potentially very dangerous device. kind of like is rubbing his chin under the mask.
Well, where I'm from, I was explaining this before. I was rudely interrupted by the thief. Where I'm from, children who are orphans often get employed to be thieves for thieves guilds by rich merchants who are scumbags.
Yes.
So that might be what's going on here, or we just have a family living in a sewer system underneath us that are stealing from everyone. I don't know.
Well, we must get to the bottom of this immediately.
We must
Quite
get
literally.
to the bottom.
We
like
have to go
winks,
down a
yeah.
well. Yeah.
Yeah, the bottom
it
of the
was,
well.
Because yes, and he does. Yeah.
Is a good one, boss. Good one. We should go though, and
Jeffrey,
Yeah.
should he stay here or
Oh,
what? are
I
you
get
thinking?
it now.
Yes, down. Yeah, and he like finger guns.
This might be like a good learning experience for him. It might also get us in a lot of trouble if he just randomly goes off, but
Okay,
that
so
might
let's-
also be useful, right?
okay, but let's weigh experience, job experience, job experience, versus us dying, maybe potentially going to jail,
Well-
other innocent people dying.
Well, would you rather me accidentally explode in this inn or in the well?
How about this? You don't threaten me with that, and
I'm
we'll
sorry.
still keep traveling together.
Right.
Yeah?
okay,
He did
yeah,
say accidentally.
yeah,
He
I
also
did
did
on
say that he has
purpose.
control of his powers and knows when they come
Well,
out.
Yeah,
But he, you know,
It's like a maybe in control. He's not quite sure.
We
But
made a bet.
I think that it might be safer if we have him with us and he explodes underground rather than like if something goes wrong here, like somebody bullies him and he just blows up the
yes,
inn, right?
That
Well,
is
either
my
way-
concern as well, is that we would not be here to sort of contain whatever does occur.
Okay,
But
we are
it
burning
may
daylight.
risk us.
Let's go impulsive. Bring him along. It sounds like we want to bring him along.
As
Okay.
heroes, it is our responsibility to bear whatever risk that he poses to these fine people.
Lawyers would disagree.
We have a duty of care as we brought him into the city.
So you guys.
I wish
Oh, you're going.
I wish I had like a bubble to put him in that he could like walk in.
That would be excellent. Like a magic-proof bubble.
Maybe I can make one. Hang on.
I
No,
think
no,
that
it's okay. It's all
No.
right.
won't
No,
work.
no.
All right, I won't try.
Let's just go.
Thank you.
Let's go.
So you guys leave the inn, leave Beggar's Quill, and head further into town, and then into the Beggar's Cliffs region, which again aren't like shanties. It's just called Beggar's Cliffs because it's the poorest part of town within town. But there are like small apartments that are pretty well maintained. However, the part of the Beggar's Cliffs you guys are going to is like mostly abandoned, very old buildings. Yeah, you find the wall with the hole in it and walk through back into the courtyard. You see the well and the large kind of broken building that is looming over it.
You said that it was covered. Is it just covered by like a wooden?
Yeah, it's a
gate
wooden
kind of
like
thing?
plank thing. Yeah,
Okay.
cut in the shape of the well.
Echo's like, roughly sizing up the hole and then like holding up his hands. Annabelle just like nodding, like, yep.
Yep, I did that.
It is quite
Wow.
clear. That is an outline which resembles your silhouette.
Turns out I probably didn't have to, but I mean, it was fun making the
think-
hole.
That have to is not the required description when it comes to busting through walls.
It's certainly a want. Yeah, it's a lot of fun.
You know.
So we just like superhero landing at the bottom of this well, or is that somebody got like a rope?
Is there a rope?
You pull off the wooden cover and you see a rope ladder leading down into the darkness.
Excellent.
They couldn't spend
What was
10
that?
extra minutes. They could have spent like 10 extra minutes building a fucking iron ladder. It has to be rope. She says that
Iron
she's like
ladders are
climbing
like
down.
expensive, though. You know.
And this is a quite damp environment. It would rust eventually. As we're starting to
Yeah.
climb down.
Jeffrey climbs down at the very end above you
it-
guys.
I assume dark down the
Yes, it's
the hole.
very dark down the hole. Yep. You come down to the bottom of the well. There is probably about a half a foot of water. The well is connected to what looks like an old sewer system. The tunnels are maybe 4 feet high, and yeah, with a, about an ankle's worth of water. There are 2 tunnels, one going to the north, one going to the south. The water makes it impossible to check for tracks, and it's very dark down here. Jeffrey kind of goes, I don't like this.
Uh-oh. It's gonna be all right, Jeffrey.
I would like to. Yeah, I'd like to make a bat, familiar bat
Okay.
at this time. Yeah, I'll do that. Just sitting down here for a second and getting my butt wet as I have to prepare the spell, and or not prepare it, but cast it ritually. And I'll send my bat out.
I don't like this, Annabelle.
It's all right, Jeffrey. Just take a deep breath. Just
I wish we had some light. Does anyone have a torch?
I am, able to see in the dark, so I do not carry such petty implements.
I believe I have candles.
Nice.
Maybe I don't have it actually listed though. I thought I had
You
candles.
hear Jeffrey squeak, and he kind of shimmers a little bit, and he goes, ah! And he casts light on the staff. It glows with an eerie green light, lighting the well and the tunnels that you're in.
I suppose that is as good as any other sort of light we could get. He shrugs.
good job, Jeffrey. And I'm gonna pat him on his head.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
I did something useful.
You did. Now we
Good.
can see.
You did, but without permission.
I mean,
I couldn't help it. I'm sorry.
And that's part of
that
the problem.
is, yes, less than reassuring. You promised us that this was under control, Jeffrey.
I'm sorry. I guess there's just more meddling around in there.
Well, it's all right. The light is working. You're doing great. Just focus on keeping the light going and not doing anything else.
Okay. He kind of closes his eyes and
Don't strain too hard though. Just just let it come naturally. There you go. You're good. All right. So which way are we going? Are we going north? Are we going south?
We could split up.
That seems like it might not end especially well. It would speed up the process, though. I would say we just pick one and hope for the best. He just shrugs.
I think we should go south.
He nods.
I don't know why. I've just got a feeling that maybe south is the way to go.
That is toward the heart of the city, I believe.
Okay, yeah, south it is.
so you guys-
Jeffrey, you want to be up front with your light?
I do, yeah.
All right, let's go.
I'll keep my bat like far in front of us, I guess.
Okay. The tunnels twist and turn. You have to make a few decisions, right or left, in like a 4 or straight ahead in some 4-part junctions. And you make your way through this maze of tunnels.
Are we getting down to like dry ground areas?
Uh,
Would I be able to track some sort of
yeah, go ahead and roll me.
traffic or
Yeah,
something
yeah,
along those
absolutely.
lines is I guess what I was asking.
As you guys are heading south, the gradient gets steeper a little bit. So there are more patches of like muck and things that might hold prints or signs
would-
of tracks.
instead of tracks, I would also like to check to see if there are any loose bricks or perhaps chalk markings on the walls, stuff like that.
Okay.
Damn.
Nice. Wow.
Damn.
26.
26. Yeah.
Okay,
So,
okay.
when you come to the first junction, you find just a little ways down one of the pipes heading further south, just a very small strip of cloth has been caught between two bricks.
It seems that someone has passed this way in not so long ago, anyway. And he pulls up the little scrap of cloth or whatever.
Good find. Good find.
Yeah, that's like actually incredible.
Well, I am quite incredible. And he
All
just,
right.
like, poses again.
I mean, time and time again, you have been proven to be an excellent tracker. Yeah, you're very good at this.
Uh,
High
as I-
praise.
As I said, you guys head further inside, guided by Jeffrey's light. Ochre, with your 26, I'll let you track through these these junctions. You
Just,
find
like, the majority of traffic heading,
Yeah.
if there's any source of it, it seems like.
you find
yeah.
like mud and muck that has been like kind of scraped off on some parts as someone was like scraping mud off their boot, or you find like a footprint leading one way or another way. It seems like a few people. It's more than one person. And they're all small feet, not adult size. The largest is probably about half of Wayman's foot size. You guys
I also have very little feet. Too.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's like a small foot. These are like really small people.
After a little bit, Wayman, your bat comes into a large area suddenly that's lit by torches. There are old pieces of furniture down here that have been stacked along the wall, as well as counters and tables and chairs, some usable, some just stacked up in corners and pockets. There's also chests and barrels. The bat flies up and does a few circles, and there is the cloaked figure with the wrappings around his face. He is holding the traveling stone and showing it to two other they look like children. One is a girl, probably about 13, with red hair and a ton of freckles. She's got a short sword strapped to her side, as well as leather armor that doesn't fit her very well. The other one that's standing next to the cloaked figure is a boy, probably about 13, 12 or 13, with messy blonde hair and beggar's clothing. They're talking about what a find it was and how much money they're going to be able to get with this for Bernard.
Oh wow. So like I imagine my bat like sort of screeched out when I was walking, and then I just kind of like went back in my skull, my eyes, and observed this little thing, this little meeting, and I come to and I say, "All right, so we know where they are. Let's try and keep it quiet through here. Perhaps they don't seem to know that we're in their system here. Who would like to lead the way? I suppose."
You said they were children, correct?
Yeah, they seemed like children.
Should we not just walk up to them and tell
Well,
them?
If we approach too loudly through these systems, which our voices probably do carry a little bit,
That is a good point. He nods.
then they might run. And let me tell you, Annabelle had to bust through that wall, to get there, and he's quick.
They're
Alright?
fast, yeah. I really don't want to have to go through another wall. I mean, I will if I have to, but
Very well. Perhaps then
I
we
have-
could approach as sneakily as possible.
I have a way that I could possibly trap them, but I don't feel too comfortable trapping kids. So maybe we just try this diplomatically as an approach.
I think that is perhaps where to start, at least. If we find that this is a more complicated situation than it appears, then perhaps we will, escalate our response. But I think perhaps a stern talking to is all that's required here.
Yeah.
Wayman, why don't you go first?
Okay.
Because I'm not super sneaky, and to be perfectly honest with you, I'm not super great with children. I don't want to scare them just by being me. So why don't you go first, and then if it happens to work out, we'll follow you in.
Okay. I got one. So I'll sneak up, and
Okay.
once you hear the chime of my bat, you will know it's time for you to start running to my direction.
All right.
Echo walks up and puts a hand on his shoulder and he says, "Good luck, Wayman," and then casts guidance on him.
Nice. I got my first guidance.
Yeah, and go ahead and roll me a stealth check, Wayman.
Good lord.
You want to roll that guidance?
That's a 4.
That's better.
It's a 9. It's a
Fucking
9.
irony.
So you kind of splish splash up the tube until you're in the large room here. You come through and you see the girl has her sword drawn and she's looking angrily at you. The boy
Eep.
that you saw
Did you
is
hear from Waven?
The girl goes, "All right, what do you want? Who are
Yeah.
you?"
Hands are up. All right. Boy. Thought I was gonna be a little sneakier.
We
Here's the
heard
thing.
you coming from a long ways away, mister.
Yeah. Listen, okay, so you got some water damage down here. And it makes my job really hard. Here's the thing, all right? You stole something from me. That's fine. I understand how the way things work. I've been there. All right? I've been you, and I point to the boy that looks like he's like wearing the dingiest
Yep,
outfit.
Yep. He kind of glares and then shouts over his timber, "Number 4, is this the mook you stole from?" The cloaked figure kind of
Mook.
points his head up and then nods and then goes back down. You see that his mouth is completely covered in bandages.
Yeah, my Birkenstocks are all soggy now. Goodness me. And kind of like just shift
What?
from side to side.
What do you want?
Okay, I want to find out what's going on here. And my bat will start chirping above me.
You guys hear the chirping of the bat, Ochre and Annabelle and Jeffrey.
Start making our approach then.
Yeah,
Okay.
start walking up.
So here's the thing. I'll be honest with you. I have friends that are probably coming here soon. So don't kill me, all right? We can talk about this. I don't want to get y'all in trouble. I've seen the job board. I've seen, that people are looking for little thieves, little hands around town. Okay?
She gets wild-eyed as Annabelle and Ochre Echo step through. And she goes, "You followed us?
Well,
Stripes! How could you let this happen?" And the boy with the bandaged mouth kind of just shrugs.
it wasn't his fault, all right? He kind of, maybe stole from the wrong person. We're, very trained individuals.
We are professionals, yes.
I don't know if you've heard of, and I kind of like do a little hand wave. I don't know if you've heard of Annabelle the Great, feisty woman. She's quite
I kiss my arm muscles.
quite a challenger, right? She's got a little fame
The
around.
kids kind of look at each other and they go, "No."
What about Wayman Stokes, the Grand Sorcerer and Archmage of Flavortown?
The boy goes, like, I've heard of Wayman whiskeys. Is that?
No, that's not.
Oh,
No.
okay.
What?
What about the Orco Echo?
Both the girl and the boy's eyes widen, and the bandaged boy's eyes widen as well, and go, "The Ochre Echo? Oh,
Yeah. What, have you heard of him?
I've heard some of the stories, yeah."
Because I'm like kind of best friends with them.
The girl like looks at the boy and goes, Who is he? Oh, he's a hero. He helps people.
That's
And
correct.
he's right here.
I am
I'll
also
flourish too.
yeah, a fighter of thieves and those who prey upon the peasantry.
No, it's
Hold
not.
up.
It's not
We're
our
not
fault.
fighting thieves.
Well, I'm just, making sure that they understand the seriousness of the situation that they have found themselves. And he's kind of just,
Look, it don't really matter what you're stealing for, who you're stealing for. What matters is that the thing that you stole is actually incredibly powerful, and we can't really let you just have it.
Oh. Well,
It's super dangerous. All right.
well, in that case, we'll take it to Bernard, and he'll know what to do with it.
Nope. You're not
Well, you
going
can
to do
just-
that.
Back, and we'll know what to do with it.
I can't.
Because we do know what to do with it.
I'm sorry, I can't.
How about
Who's
this?
Bernard?
Okay, yeah, let's answer that first.
They kind of look at each other, and the boy goes, "He's gonna want to know that they found us."
Okay, how about this? He doesn't need. Okay, I know how these things work. Obviously, we don't want you to give up your patron. All right, the person who's funding this operation where you pawn your goods off to him.
No,
I'm sure he's probably not giving you a fair shake neither
it's not
because
like
you wouldn't
that.
be doing this.
You don't know what you're talking about. Bernard is nice.
Yeah, I'm sure all people who use children to steal are nice.
That's what I used to think too.
He's our.
You know,
He took us in. No one else would.
yeah, it's true, and I mean that's how they hook kids. Is they, nobody else will take them in.
That is, yes, and you get less serious punishment from the city guards.
If Bernard says that you can have it, then we'll give it to you.
No, that's not what's going to happen. But here,
Stripes,
counter
Go
offer.
get him.
Can I
And
before you
Stripes.
leave? I'm going to cast web. I'm going to cast web on him
Okay.
because if he's going to start running,
Yeah,
then-
he's gonna take off. Yeah, take off towards one of the other exits.
Okay. I mean, he might actually beat this, but he needs to make a save.
DC 13.
Which save is it? Dex.
I think it is a strength check. Actually.
Oh,
Looks
Right.
like Dex.
Oh wait,
is it Dex?
hold on. No, it's strength if they get caught. It's Dex if
Okay.
it's
Once they're
getting
in
thrown
it,
at them. Yeah.
okay.
So it's a 20-foot cube. I'll catch them all. I guess.
All right,
School,
here,
kid.
So
I'm gonna roll Mary's here. Then. All right.
Oof.
So the only one that gets out of the way is actually the blonde-haired boy with the dingy clothing. And he does so on accident. He kind of falls backwards and rolls through your webbing to the bottom. They both the boy with the bandaged mouth and the girl kind of like struggle, and they go, What is this?" And the boy kind of looks in surprise at you and goes, "Your magic?"
yes, I was trying to tell you before, you made some hasty choices that I am a quite renowned arcanist. And I'll like the web sort of just like wrap around them, I suppose, like on the ground, and I'll kind of stare them down. And you really don't want to know what the two of them can do to you. So how about we take a
There's-
breather?
The boy nods slowly, and as he does, another two children come in from one of the other tubes. A girl or two girls. They see what's going on wide-eyed and just turn tail and take off.
Well, it seems that perhaps we will be meeting this Bernard sooner rather than later anyway.
Maybe you shout at them to stop.
I mean, shouting at running children tends to just make them run fast.
No, I
He's
was
gonna
telling
be
the kids
so
that.
mad at
Oh.
Can you tell the kids to stop running or not? That's just not gonna happen.
No.
you. No, they're gonna go get Bernard, and he's gonna
I'll walk up to the
protect
boy.
us.
I'm gonna walk up to the boy who's got, or is it the girl that has my thing?
No, it's the guy with the boy with the wrapped up
Stripes?
face.
Okay.
Yeah, Stripes. Yep.
All right, Stripes. I'll be taking this back, and I'll grab my pouch and the Traveler Stone.
Sure. Yep. He glares at you. This
Yeah.
close, you see that his mouth is bandaged because he has no lower jaw, and he has 3 scars running down his face. Look like stripes that they get deeper the further down his face that he gets.
Good boy. What happened to you?
He was attacked by people like you.
No, not by people like me. I didn't hurt him. None.
I have never ripped anyone's jaw off.
Well, he was
Well.
attacked.
Okay, by who? Are they still around?
Well, no, not anymore.
Who were?
Well, it was Weirb. Well, not him, but one of his students.
What's a weeb?
He's the town wizard, Weirb Hollyhome.
A name.
Why are his students ripping the jaws off of children?
She shakes her head. It wasn't his student necessarily, but a something that he summoned. Stripes tried to get the object that was making the creature, and it attacked him.
Oh.
I
Well,
don't
this
really
is what-
like people who use magic for bad stuff.
We don't either.
To be fair, I mean, this is something that may happen when you steal from mages.
Right. Yeah.
All right,
It
but
is not
no,
necessarily
okay.
justified, but it is maybe expected.
None of you are going to lose fingers or jaws or get scarred by me. I'm honestly would like to help y'all, knowing that you've been through the ringer with some fucking asshole. All right.
Yes.
He's
this
not an
seems not great.
asshole.
Wait,
He
Weird
is having
isn't?
you steal for him.
No, Weirb is horrible.
That's what I
Bernard
said.
Isn't, oh,
That's what I said. I want to help you with these assholes, but
well, let us go.
That is not helping.
listen. I'll let you go. I'm going to keep my things, and then maybe we talk to this Bernard. Is that what you said?
He's coming now.
Good. Okay, we'll talk to him. I don't want to hurt y'all. That's not my goal here. I just want my money back, which I've gotten, and I don't want to punish y'all. That's not what I'm here for.
The 2 girls that came in come out and go, "Number 1, are you okay?" And the girl goes, "Yes, I'm fine. Did you bring Bernard?" And they nod. He wants to know if it's safe.
Yeah, it's safe.
They nod.
That is
you
your
hear
caretaker.
Uh,
Just gestures.
Something very large sliding its way down the pipe. Out of the tube comes 8 very large legs that are covered in hair, and a large tarantula heaves its way into the room. It looks like it's been a little bit injured. Some of its legs are kind of twisted a little bit, but it's still fairly sturdy. It is wearing a small bowler's cap as well, and it has an eyeglass on one of its 8 eyes.
Oh my god.
It
I want to tip my hat to him because we have the same hat.
it comes in and goes, well, what do we have here in my well? Do you wish me harm?
No.
Oh, piss. Are you Bernard?
Yes, Bernard is my name. I have been a writer, and that is my game. What do you want here and now?
Oh man, are you gonna speak in rhyme the whole time?
Why, yes.
He's got you doing it now.
I love to play with words, and I spend my days coming up with new ways of tying them together.
Okay.
All right. Well, Bernard, look, we don't really want to hurt you. We don't really want to hurt anyone. We just,
The
want our
kids come
stuff
up
back.
and give him a big hug, like they hug his legs, and he goes, are you hurt, little ones? No, he cast magic at us, though.
A spider web. In fact, it's I call it the spider snare.
Ah, well, I see. I wish you 3. Oh, there is a 4 back there, I see. And Jeffrey goes, hello.
Come along, Jeffrey. The giant spider is wishing to address us.
Perhaps you may help where my children have been fear to tread. Where the town's wizard breaks his bread is the key to my salvation.
Okay.
Are you
What-
responsible for the many thefts which have occurred in this town? Well, indirectly, obviously.
He takes his hat off and he kind of puts it up to the lower part of his face and goes, "Alas, I am. The crime is mine. The children deserve to do no time. I made them go out and steal in the day and the night to help me with my plight. I have been separated from the amulet that keeps me bound in human form, and I cannot go, not during the night or the morn, in this horrid state."
That
Boy.
Yes, I would imagine large crowds with torches and pitchforks confronting yourself, as classy a spider as you are.
Weird stole his amulet that makes him a person.
That's fine. I want you to know that your kids stole from me, and I chose to do no harm to them, Bernard. And I kind of look at the kids that are still trapped in the web, and I release it. But here's the thing: your kids here have racked up quite the bounty, where guards are now paying people to find little thieves, and I don't know what's going to happen to them if that, you know. Well, I do kind of know actually, and I look at the
Yes.
stripes, and I say, I imagine not pretty things.
He kind of lowers his head.
Yeah, I mean, I know that they're like easy to manipulate, right? But I mean, you had to use children.
I was alone down here for an entire year, and it wasn't until the refugees from Eagle Hill began to trickle down and down, and well, these children were left behind, and I kept them when no one paid them any mind. And through their clever little hands, we've been able to build something of a family below the lands.
Okay, I understand that, but they are in danger now, and so I think it's
Yes.
probably best to lie low, for the time being.
Mary, he turns to the little girl with the red hair and says, "Mary, you told me that you were all home free, and the guards knew nothing of your thievery." And she kind of sighs and kicks the can and says, "Well, I didn't want you to worry about us. The Stripes is the only one fast enough to get away without being seen. Every time I try to steal stuff, everyone chases me. They were wanted now. I'm sorry, Bernard." And he kind
Okay,
of
so here's the thing. Even if we help, it's probably wise that you get the fuck out of Dodge now. Because, I'm speaking from experience here when I know what I'm saying. You don't want to stay in one place too long or else you're going to get strung up.
I understand. The laws of the land require that someone answer for the crimes done here. And I do not wish the harm to come to the children. It is my greatest fear. Would you help, then, so that these children may be free of me and I from them, and we may go our separate ways?
I'm gonna sidebar with my friends here for a moment, all right?
Of course, talk among yourselves. We will be over here, discussing.
Elves.
Elves.
Sorry.
I'll make a huddle with y'all. So, didn't think that we'd be fighting, mages, powerful ones, in fact.
Yes, but perhaps if we can secure this Bernard's amulet, we can find a way for these, maybe he can face the punishment for the children's crimes.
Or we could sneak them out.
That is also probably a possibility.
Yeah, I kind of
Well, if
like.
he is not a giant spider, of course, yeah.
Well, we could do
Yeah.
it if he is a giant spider. I'm just saying we could roll him up in a big carpet, maybe. I don't know.
I-
I don't
Are
know
you
how limber
saying-
those legs are.
How big is just out of curiosity now, for
It's a 400-pound spider. So the thing is, probably about 6 feet. The body of the spider is about 6 feet long, about 2.5 feet wide.
Okay,
And
so he's not
the-
coming out.
The legs themselves in the span is about 10 feet.
What if
not
Ooh,
good.
what if we put on a performance and draw the attention of the townsfolk long enough for him to get out?
I do think that perhaps he would have a better quality of life outside of this town if we can recover his ability to assume human form.
That's
Yeah,
what
but
I
that-
think.
Yeah, but then we're gonna have to fight a mage. And listen,
This
I'm
is
not even
true.
that good of a mage. I'm cracking myself out to be. I'm really not. I've seen a lot better than me. So we do some reconnaissance, maybe. On
That
this
seems
school.
reasonable. Perhaps if it is an easy mark, this mage, he shrugs. As
Look at
unlikely as
you
that
using the
perhaps sounds.
word mark. The Orco Echo.
And
I'll smile. I'll crack a little smile.
yes, and we will, perhaps then we will be able to strike swiftly and easily, but if not, then perhaps it would make more sense and our efforts would be more efficiently spent through some other means. And kind of stands back. I think we can tell him that we will at least investigate his job, right?
I also do kind of want to kill him for, taking the jaw off a child. That
Yes, this
That's what.
weird.
Yeah, I mean, this can't be like a good wizard if he's going
Seems like
around
a
popping
dick.
off children. Like,
yeah, obviously not. Yeah.
And Bernard could be a much worse individual. I was thinking if he is just a regular person who is getting children to do his bidding, then this is, sort of inexcusable. But he kind of just does like the weighing his
It
hands.
still
like,
is
"Yeah."
kind of inexcusable, but they are kind of
Certainly,
acting on their
but-
own volition. However,
he is
he
a
still
giant
has the
spider.
responsibility of being a guardian of sorts.
Right,
And
the
I
duty
still
of
don't think
care.
he's doing right.
Yeah.
I don't think he's doing right by those kids, but
yeah, I mean, he's definitely using them, but
we should
I
really
mean,
have CPS come in.
But it seems that perhaps there is some sort of symbiotic relationship which has evolved. They are relying upon him for some sort of organizational services or something. He kind of scratches back his head.
And if we do this, then, he gets to leave the town and he might be
Right.
able to actually help the children in a productive way.
Like, by being a human with a house instead of living in a hole in the ground.
Right.
That is, I understand, not great for the developing child.
So we're going to do this. We're going to at least investigate it.
I'm interested in seeing what is up with this weird.
Web. What a
The
weird
other-
name.
Okay. The other thing is I could reduce his size by 3 times, making him approximately like 130 pounds. He would be, kind of my size, really. But
Which is still weird for a spider.
still a spider.
I
Right,
mean,
but we
we
not
could
sneaking
probably
that
still
out of
roll him
town.
up in a carpet, at that point. It's
Or
the
perhaps
only
throw
way
him
that I
in the
think
back of a wagon. Or
I mean,
and
yeah,
a rag
sure.
over him or something.
a crate maybe.
I
Yeah.
really think that like the ultimate goal is that he can walk around like a normal human being, even outside of just this town specifically. And I don't know if he can get another. I'm gonna turn to him and be like, "Hey, is there any chance that you can get another amulet from literally anywhere else?"
Not,
Yes, like is it possible for another to be made?
not without going far and finding my kin. They are spread wide and thin, and there are not many of us
Are
left.
you a changeling?
No, I am what they call a story spider. I go from place to place and gather the tales and the tomes of each person and each race, and write them in a great weave that tells the story and helps make believe.
Okay,
Wow.
okay.
That's like actually really cool.
Yeah. Uh
You are saying that there are many of these of your kind dotted around. Do they live under many cities?
Yes,
This is kinda-
we do. The ones that cannot change from human and back, fro and to, we don't reveal our true shapes much. It can be quite disturbing. People may lose their lunch.
okay.
Yeah, I could see that.
And
Can I ask you?
well, with that, we are going to take a break before we
Ooh.
Oh,
get
okay.
too far here. Yeah, we passed our 10:30 mark a break time ago, so we're gonna go ahead. We're gonna take our 15-minute break, guys, and we will be back for our last hour where these guys deal with Bernard the Story Spider and his cadre of child thieves. We will be back in 15 minutes, guys. Enjoy the break video. Bye.
So you did mention theater of the mind versus always having maps out, and
Yeah.
that's another thing. Not every DM is either willing or able to do a full theater of the mind combat system, and not every player is going to be okay with that. Some people want to see the actual layout. They want to see the images. They want to see the map. They want to see the distance. They want it all, particularly plotted, which is not a bad thing. You do need to know beforehand whether your DM is going to be doing that or not.
As a DM, I rarely map unless it's combat, but frequently combat's just a grid so that everybody knows how far away they are from everything. Though for me, because it's just easier to keep everything straight, I think. As a player, I find it very difficult to, especially with the way combat and most of the abilities are structured in D&D, it's pretty hard to feel like I'm keeping track of exactly what all's happening and going on, and how close am I to this person in relation to this person, and stuff like that can matter pretty quickly sometimes, in some, depending on your campaign. But there are ways to run combat that totally don't rely on those kind of specific distinctions. You can kind of just do the bands, range bands of combat or something that they've introduced into these other systems that take away the specific what square am I questions. And yeah, that's a big difference in play, and how the spells and abilities your characters have translate into what you can kind of do during the combat, or during outside of combat, stuff like that.
Welcome to Big Seed's General Store. We have the largest selection of fantasy-based items on this side of the greater Dandaris River. Why don't we go inside and check out what I have for sale? Let's go. We are now inside Big Seed's General Store. Let's see what I have for sale. Well, this sure looks like a fine selection. We have bananas, onions, dragon eggs, pajama pants, occult statues, daggers, dangerous animals, socks, small figurines, real fake daggers, diplomas, drink koozies, hammers, potatoes. Well, that's just a small bit of our inventory. So you should do yourself a favor and come on down to Big Seed's General Store, where we will treat you like you want to be treated.
Step one of putting together a group or finding a group is time frame. It's scheduling.
Yeah,
So
definitely.
before you can even look at a DM's preferences or style or players' tendencies, styles, preferences, before you can look at any of that, you have to look at scheduling. Because even though you might find a DM that runs a really good game that you really want to be a part of, if you can't make the times, if you can't be a part of their schedule, it's not worth trying to force it, because you're going to
Right.
end up missing. You're going to have players that are going to end up missing.
Yeah,
So scheduling, you have to be able to make the appointed times.
definitely.
Everyone does.
Right. I guess the best group in the world is not a group if they're not able to come together and get around a table and play the game, I suppose. Yeah, obviously the particulars of that are going to vary for everybody, but do you feel like there are any sort of tools, tips, or cheat codes to getting a scheduling to work?
The very first thing you have to do is everybody has to understand their own limitations.
Right.
You need
Okay.
to sit down and write it down. Write down when are your guaranteed days. You write it down so you don't have to think about it. Figure out, go through your week, go through your month, write it down, put it on a notepad. Just know your own availability so that you know where to look.
I think that seems like a really simple thing, I think, to a lot of people, but that is that's key, is like, yeah, know your damn schedule.
And you think it's easy enough to recall your schedule. But when you're put on the spot, you're going to sit there and try to go through, do I have anything on this day? Do I have anything on this day? Just go through it ahead of time and write it down so you can say, yeah, I know it. It's right here.
I agree. That's a good idea. I lean toward, I have a Google Calendar, which is what I use to keep like everything in my life that is organized. Do you have any favorite tools to use, programs, things of that nature?
Now, personally, my schedule's always been pretty easy to work around. It's a set schedule. So, I mean, there may be some better tools. Like if you look at it, you can make a chart off of like Google Documents or something like
Sure.
that. And which is what I used in my questionnaire. That's like the first thing that I had. It's basically just a series of rows and columns with little check boxes, different times of the day, different days of the week. Check the ones that you can be a part of,
Right.
that you know you can be a part of. And that's the best thing for it. If you're looking for a DM or if you're looking for players, if you can get the most information about time frame and availability, and you can line people up with what matches, that's the easiest thing. And it's a really cool tool that I used, and it was on Google Documents. It's pretty easy to use. It lets you put in however many rows, however many columns, and it just puts little check boxes there. And all you got to do is just click on all the ones that are applicable. Now, obviously, life happens.
Right.
But you need to know what, 90% of the time or more, this day, this time slot, this is when I can make these games. And then you need to look for a DM that's running a game in that time slot. If they're not in one of your time slots, move on.
Attention! If you or a loved one has been diagnosed with lycanthropy, you may be entitled to financial compensation. Lycanthropy is a rare, uncontrolled animalis transformation linked with monster bite exposure. Exposure to monster bites in the mercenary, adventuring, questing, or mortuary industries may put you at risk. Please don't wait. Raven 1-800-99-RAR-RNG for a free legal consultation and a financial information scroll. Lycanthropy patients send a Raven now. 1-800-RAR-RNG.
Hello, it is Irrational Radio. We are here with another Old for Gold episode. Smart like a fox. Foxes don't know alphabets.
Well, I can do some quick and dirties. I can just remove the toilet entirely and you can just shit down the hole.
I have a deadbeat brother who is still sleeping in my beanbag, and I need him to leave before my wife's sister's wedding.
Did you say in your beanbag?
Yes, he's been crashing on my living room beanbag for a long time.
He has a beanbag.
All right. Well, I'll make sure I let you know when I've poured all of your orders into one of the sections.
This is the most ridiculous situation.
You were
For a
making it this
restaurant.
whole way through like that wasn't a totally ridiculous idea until you had to say, and I will pour your food into the giant trough which you will retrieve it from. Or, assuming scheduling's out of the way, I guess, and that you've got, whatever handful of people, prospective players.
Yeah.
How do you shorten the list beyond that? I guess what's your next step? I suppose.
Okay. From a DM standpoint, you need to know first off what kind of game you want to run.
Sure.
There are a lot of different types of games. There's a
Yeah.
lot of different types of players. There's a lot of different types of DMs. First thing you need to know is what type of game you want to play. And then you need to ask your prospective players that match your time slot. Only those. Don't talk to
Yeah.
anybody that doesn't match your time slot.
Right.
The players that match your time slot, you need to start asking them specific questions so that you know that they are on board and they're willing to play the type of game that you want to run. You find out what kind of game you want to run, and you need to come up with some questions. My method was a form on Google, a questionnaire with multiple choice answers, so you don't make them think too much. Show them some answers. And what you need to do is give them multiple choice, ask them the questions, let them answer, look at the documents. You're going to have some answers in there that, hey, if they choose this one, that player's probably not for my group, not the type of game that I want to run. And that's the way that I found to be the most successful. Multiple choice questions and answers. And you need red flag. I say red flag, not like they're bad things. It's just if they answer a certain way, they're probably going to be, a pretty good opposition to your style.
Could you give an example of one of these questions and
Yes.
how you might, tailor it to have one of these red flag answers that you could key on?
I wanted 5 players in my game. I wanted 4 of them to be either brand new or very inexperienced. So, with that type of game, some of my questions that I would have asked, obviously, is how much experience do you have?
Right.
I'm only looking for 1 experienced player. I wanted to bring new people into the game. So I look at experience. I grab all the people that match the time slot, and I grab all the people that have little to no experience. And then I'll grab a few to look at from the experienced pool. And then the next thing is an example of sort of your style is the combat to role play ratio. If you're wanting to run a balanced game, then you would have a question somewhere along the lines. What should the balance of role play and combat be like in your game? a few examples. Role playing is what I live for, and if I can avoid combat, I will. All the way down the spectrum to combat is what I live for, and role playing, I'd rather not do it.
Yeah.
And then mix it up along the way. Whereas if you're wanting to run a role play centric game and somebody clicks that they don't want to participate in role play, they just want combat, get rid of that player.
Right.
Nothing against that player, but they're not a match.
Yeah.
And that will be a problem in the future if you grab that player.
Because DMs are players too. They don't get talked about like that.
Yeah.
They're supposed to enjoy themselves a bit as well and be doing the stuff that is fun for them in the process of providing a fun and enjoyable game for everybody else too. So yeah, it's like, oh well, I'm the DM, I'll make it work. If you want that, I'll find a way to put it in there. But it's like, if I don't want to put make sure that there's a combat session or a combat encounter in every session, then if you want that as a player, I'm sorry, you're not going to want me as your DM. Like, that's not going to go well.
There may be DMs out there that can run every type of game really well for the players. If I don't know that there are, because I'm not one of them.
Right,
I can't do that. I have a style.
Yeah.
Most people have a style, and that's okay. It's better to send a player to another DM that will fit than it is trying to fit a player into your game that will not enjoy themselves or that will make other people not enjoy themselves. It's okay to tell somebody that you don't need to be a part of my game because of a style difference. It's okay. There's nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with their style or your style. It's just that if it doesn't match, it will cause problems. It's not about if, it will cause problems.
And we're back. Hello, everybody. We are coming back from break here. We are inside the sewers of the town of Orisia, talking to a giant spider who claims that he is a story spider, a giant arachnid
with a monocle.
With a monocle and a bowler hat that goes around, or his race is common Paralandia, and they go around collecting the stories of the cities that they inhabit. Usually they're polymorphed or disguised somehow, but this guy has lost his polymorph amulet. It has been stolen by the city wizard named Weirb Hollyhome. Weirb. You guys have just agreed to go case the joint. The spider raises one of his large legs and goes, the mage who has bound my children so tight, I have something that might be of your delight. Help me and retrieve my amulet so dear, and you may have this right here. And he pulls a spell book out from the a sack that is kind of on his back, like a fanny pack, but for a spider. It is a not a very thick spell book, but it is written in a strange language that you do not recognize.
A fanny pack.
He says, this is alien to my eyes, and speaking the words only sounds like cries. Maybe it will be more useful to you.
As a prize.
As a prize. And he says, so I will give you this if you bring my amulet back to me for free.
And what of recompense? Would you like me to slay the mage who tore down the jaw of your poor boy
Page?
I don't. Yeah,
His
sure,
name is
okay.
Stripes.
His name's Stripes. I was trying to work in there, but I'm not a good
the rhyming.
Yeah, I'm not a good rhymer. Here's the thing. Honestly, it's very nice of you, and in this world, you'd be surprised how many people are not willing to pay for services rendered by us. But I do appreciate it very much. This was one of those jobs where I was probably going to go kill that man for hurting this child without anything. But I will take this as a very very, very appreciated payment.
Spouter
Yeah.
bows.
You've hired my services. Are you
Excellent.
two in?
Absolutely. I believe that poor Bernard here is in desperate need of our assistance, and that these children will never be able to free themselves from the life of crime until he is able to reassume his human form.
And
Yeah,
if you
just-
go, oh,
I just
sorry.
think it's like really important that we don't let this wizard get away with beating up children.
Yeah,
Like end of story. Like I don't care if you stole an amulet, you're beating up on children. It's not okay.
and also, if you do go from town to town stealing, maybe you should work on your exit.
Theft is
little bit.
not usually the method of my ways. It is
Okay.
in these, the darkest of days, that I find it necessary.
Can I
Well-
ask how how did he get it from you?
It is a tale both long and sad.
Can you shorten it? Can you make it
Condense
just a little
it.
bit shorter than the longer version?
What is so short and sad is that I tricked him and he was mad.
Oh,
He stole the amulet from me as a way of, I suppose,
getting back at you, revenge.
Keeping me from being
Yes.
free. I don't know.
That's okay.
Revenge most foul, and not free or fair. It was maybe. Yeah, I'm running out of rhymes here, guys.
Listen, how
But-
about this? We'll go take care of that, and we'll get your kids out of here because you should not stay here regardless.
You don't eat people or something, right?
Yeah,
No,
what's your diet?
Before we do this.
no, of course not.
Insight check.
Yeah.
Yeah, go for it.
What? No, I don't.
Well, what do spiders
Me?
eat? They are carnivorous, so
Yeah.
that's a pretty good
I
18.
eat both cheese and meat, but only that which has been cooked in heat, and nothing that is wise enough to say, please don't eat me, let me continue about my day.
Good. Yeah. Okay, I believe that. No, I believe it.
That is a solid rule of thumb when it comes to eating things, I think. He just nods.
Yeah, I do not like raw vegetables
It's yes.
or eating sentient people either.
That
But I am
either.
not above stealing sentient eggs from sentient owl bears. I'm not above it. I'd do it, but I guess I'm a scumbag.
We will. That was like an owl bear thing. Yes, nothing to do with you, obviously, Baron.
The spider bows and says, "Thank you again for helping me and my kids. We both have been sad down here in the skids. It's not the best way to live, but I suppose that my sins are hard to forgive, and they shouldn't be punished for what I have done. I
For
hope,
what you did.
yes, did or done. But whether my sin is well enough to break and see the sun.
I knew it was going to be sun somehow.
Then the battle will be surely won. Good day.
Yeah, Wayman starts
impressed,
walking
man.
away.
Well
I'm
fucking
impressed.
done.
I don't
Real
know how you
quick
do
here.
this.
Let's just pull
Let's leave.
this to a stop and say,
Let's
well
stop-
done, Kyron.
Let's
Then
stop
we can move
torturing
on.
Kyron. Though,
Yeah, I was
too.
just gonna say, make him rhyme more. Wait, hang on. And what is your favorite recipe for?
He's now we're gonna kick Jeffrey out, and he's now the traveling
Right.
DMP.
Oh, God.
That would be torture.
Oh.
Jeffrey, just wait.
Wait, I'm a poet.
No, you suck.
That
the
is
eyes
up for
that
debate.
do not see cannot.
Are you talking about potatoes?
Wayman starts walking away. And he kind of turns his chin over his shoulder. I've got a plan.
Echo, as you guys turn, the little boy with dirty hair just suddenly hugs you, and kind of buries his face into your coat, and he looks up at you kind of teary-eyed and goes, "Thank you for helping, Mr. Echo. It's hard. It's been really hard."
Just awkwardly, like, and like, pat him on the head and say, yes, we will do everything we can to, assist you in your
He's
troubled
wiping
times.
his nose on your coat.
That is going to be a problem, and then he'll just kind of like push him away with one hand by the forehead. Kind of pry him off or whatever.
Come on, number 3. They're gonna help us. The
I
Mary
hope
says.
there is a dry cleaner in town as we're walking away.
All right, so you guys leave the sewers, and come back onto the little courtyard where the well is, which I'm going to call Bernard's Well from now on. Yeah. Oh, also, because I didn't necessarily want to say this in rhyme. I kept thinking about it, but he tells you where Weir's house is, where the school is.
Weirb is hard to rhyme with. That's for sure. Yeah.
It's down in the Houses district, which is the rich part of town. It's going to be a large mansion that it's in the Hollyhome family, that he has converted into a school for gifted magical youngsters. So yeah, are you guys going to make a
Hexmen? Thank you.
Got a page now. I'm gonna have to just erase.
Fine, yeah, okay, fine. I guess it's the goddamn, Magister Xavier's school for
Man,
gifted youngsters.
Xavier's a fucking asshole in this universe. Holy shit.
So,
kids'
basically
jaws
the
off.
same. Like, let's be real. He's sending a bunch of kids out to fight terrorism and stuff. So, pretty much the same dude.
I don't think Xavier would have ripped the jaw off of some child who tried to steal from him, but
he would have sent some kid into a situation where they got their jaw ripped off. No problem.
True. I think there's a lesser of evil somewhere in there.
I guess.
Maybe it's just neither of them are very good.
Yeah,
they both kind of suck.
They both kind of suck.
I have an idea of sorts. I was thinking, since it's a school of magic, and I am a wizard, maybe I could apply to be a substitute teacher, perhaps, of sorts. Maybe a stand-in for a lecture, a TED Talk. I don't know what these kids want, but yeah, maybe I just go talk to one of the staff members, if not Weird himself.
I mean, at the very least, scope out where we're going to be.
Get a tour.
Like a great excuse to get us in the complex or whatever.
And you all could be my assistants of sorts.
Not.
I mean, yeah, it's natural.
I am moderately proficient in some minor magics. Perhaps we could be, like your teaching aids or something along those lines.
Or I mean, you could also be. I mean, part of magic is practicing it on others, whether it's combat or the art of changing one's shape and size, which I have done plenty of times to Annabelle, to demonstrate the prowess of power.
Yes, and I am like a style specialist. Like taps and shit or something.
Exactly. Yeah. So okay, let's go in like that. We just walk in and say, "Hey, we're here to help in any way we can," and then we stake it out, take a tour from the inside.
That is a wonderful plan. I will let you do the talking. I am not especially well learned in the realms of the arcane.
Fine by me.
He just nods, and we head to that section of town.
It's I labeled it there on the map. It's Weir's house. You guys arrive. It is again very large, mansion-like structure. All the buildings in this area are either very large or incredibly ornate and well taken care of. Some of them are either made of the glitter stone that the wall and the keep are made of. This blinding white stone that glitters in the sunlight like it's made of compacted glitter. Shards of very tiny broken glass that turn the sun into a prism. You reach the door. It's a very big blue affair with a sign on it that says non-mages need not enter here.
Well, I'll explain to them. Okay, mages can be like a little snobby sometimes. So I will explain to them why you will be coming with me to assist.
Is this gonna be like, am I gonna be in trouble?
Okay, you are not allowed to mention that you're magical. In fact, if you can, avoid elaborating what your staff is at all costs.
Okay.
Is a possible way that we could gain a conference with the head honcho as well. He just kind of like taps his chin and says, if we were perhaps investigating the complexities of this affliction which has befallen poor Jeffrey here. He just shrugs and says, but it is not necessary. Just a suggestion. I thought I would.
Maybe if it comes to that.
He nods.
But
That
I
makes
feel like
sense.
maybe that's a plan B sort
Sure,
of situation.
Yes.
I would be just a little worried that he'd try and steal him from us or kidnap him or something.
We'll
and
just
then
kill
we'd
him.
have to like rescue Jeffrey, and I don't really want to go on a rescue mission on top of a thieving mission.
Okay, so Jeffrey, go back to the tavern.
Aw, but I want.
I feel like that's the more safe choice.
Magic school.
I feel like that's the more safe choice.
Come on, Wayman. If I don't learn about what's going on with me, I might.
See, the fact that you want to learn at this point, when I said you need to lock it up, kind of tells me you need to go.
I mean, it seems to be at least temporarily a piece of his essence for now. Learning more may be better or at least safer than going completely uneducated in this regard. He kind of shrugs.
I feel
but
like we're doing a mission that's more important.
that
than this.
makes a good amount of sense.
I'll be
Sorry,
good. I
Jeffrey.
promise.
Look, it's not really that we don't trust you, Jeffrey. We don't know what we're dealing with. We don't know anything about this guy, and I don't want to have to, go on a rampage to rescue you.
That is possible. He might perhaps want this staff for himself if he is familiar with it. Those who know more about magic than the average may recognize it or something of that nature.
All right, I'll go back to the inn.
You should practice your poetry.
Poetry would be a good
Okay,
practice.
I'll write a poem.
You
Good.
should write a poem about the story that Oka earlier.
Okay, yeah, I can do that. The Invisible Werewolf.
Look,
Yes,
you already got a
remember.
title. You're gonna be great. We'll be back before you know it.
Or also, at some point, maybe try and write about our travels, maybe. You know?
All right. Okay,
Yeah.
I
That
could
would
start
be
a
a great
journal.
Yeah, of course, yeah. It's good. Good to start journals. So thank you for listening, Jeffrey. I appreciate it.
I'll go back to the inn and write a poem. He kind of turns and he's like dragging the staff behind
I'm
him.
assuming that we're out of the
Yeah,
tunnels now. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're
you guys
outside
are
the-
outside of Weir's house. Yep.
You didn't just like turn down a random tunnel and start walking.
No,
And now he's lost in the tunnels
classic.
because he goes back there.
Makes sense.
Okay.
Um,
I'll guess I'll just knock and see if I can get this tour.
You knock on the door, and the doorknob turns, and the door opens by itself.
Ooh, fancy. That seems like
Right.
some nice artificing. I suppose they're open. Let us walk through.
It's like a bad business model. You shouldn't just let anybody walk through the door.
Well, I mean, if business is open, then
Right. How else would people purchase things or, as we're going in.
But like the sign says, like people with magic shouldn't enter here. So like if the door opens to somebody that doesn't have magic,
well, I
like
have
what's
magic.
the point?
You guys walk inside. It's a very large hall with blue tapestries coming down from the ceiling, and the interior is made of the same white glittering stone. The floor is a mosaic of a big blue eagle in flight with magic fire around, inlaid
Ooh, a
with
phoenix.
like little shards of colored glass. You step inside and you hear, "Oh, hello," and a kind of a pudgy man. He's about your size. Wayman comes out of the one of the hallways that leads into this room. He kind of wipes his brow. He has a very prominent unibrow. This thing he's got more hair on his eyebrow than anywhere else on his body. He says, "Can I help you?"
Yes, you may. In fact, I look at my friends and I say, I am Wayman Stokes, practicing arcanist. Dabbled a little in alchemy, even artificing. I don't know too much about that, but I have dabbled. But my study isn't either transmutation or illusion. I suppose I'm sort of under the umbrella of all schools. It is a pleasure to meet you. What is your name?
My name is Weirb. Weirb Hollyhope. I'm the director here at the school.
It is a pleasure to meet you, Weirb. I have heard that your school teaches promising students.
Yeah, we've got a few pretty promising students. So what exactly do you want here? And what are your qualifications?
Oh, I mean, I can cast magic, I suppose. Would you like a demonstration?
Yeah, sure. Go ahead. Cast
Uh,
something.
I will produce my quill and my book, and the quill sort of hovers near the book. At first, I am. I suppose I should tell you that I am uh, an order of scribes. I
Uh-huh.
am capable of casting simple cantrips, as well as high level spells that require intricate components.
Uh-huh.
What would you like to witness?
Uh, just throw something out. Man, yeah.
I don't.
Wow him.
I don't really want to
Wow.
like
me.
waste anything. That's the problem. Oh, I'll just produce my familiar, I suppose. I could do like a ritual spell as well. Yeah, I'll just produce my my blue fox.
All right. As a ritual.
Yeah, yeah,
So you sit down.
because
and
he's a bat currently.
He kind of taps his foot, and he goes, "You really gonna do a ritual?"
Well, of course. They're very
It is.
complicated spells. I mean, not anybody can just do this.
It is more efficient. I mean, if you
No.
have the time.
Sure. You don't have to. You don't have to do the whole thing. Okay. I don't need to sit here and watch you spend 10 minutes. I don't know, making your staff light up. Or whatever.
Actually, I can once per day do that at the point of an action, spending a ritual spell.
All right. Whoa. You cast.
So in 6 seconds, I can cast Find Familiar. I mean, tell me who else can do that.
That's actually pretty impressive. Can I see that?
Yeah, I'll do it, and I'll change my familiar bat into a fox
All right,
within
yeah.
6 seconds.
Yeah, with as a ritual, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, he's so he like whistles. He's like, "Wow, that's the fastest I've ever seen someone do that. That's pretty incredible. Can you teach
Yeah.
other people how to do that?"
Listen, like anything with magic, it takes many years to get to the level
Yeah,
I am at.
I know. Trust me, buddy. I can cast some spells, okay?
I'm not saying that you can't. I was just that wasn't
It
my meaning.
sounded like you
I
were
would like
trying
to insight that now.
Yeah,
that
go
he
ahead.
said that. Game recognized game. God damn it. There we go. Not a great roll.
13.
13.
I mean, it might be suspect. It doesn't know you don't see this guy backing himself up by what he looks
Right.
like. But again, you haven't seen anything that would.
No obvious
Yeah.
indication otherwise, though.
Mm-hmm.
Got it. Arbitrary
So-
suspicion still.
Weird. These are my two friends. They are my assistants, and we have come here to first maybe take a tour, maybe learn a little bit about your students, and maybe find a position for me to provide a lecture for your pupils.
Yeah, no, I think that would be great. I'll start with a tour. So this is the main hall. This is where I greet people who come into the building. It's also a pretty good place to cast spells. It's wide open. Not a
It
lot
does
of
seem
things
that.
to break.
Good.
The floor is pretty easy to repair. I've got several
Some mending cantrips that we
yeah,
could
they're actually
do.
under the.
Yeah.
They're actually mending runes underneath the
Ooh,
picture, so you could fuck this whole thing up and it just back together in with
Nice.
6 seconds. Yeah, it's pretty cool.
do you have to place those runes like every?
Every
so
time
often?
it breaks? Yeah.
Oh,
you gotta
okay.
Replace the runes. But it's part of the job, I guess. All right, so here's the main wing. This is my favorite part. It's where my office is. This is a hall of treasures too. You guys head through the hall. You see many suits of armor. You see like weapons in glass cases, as well as an amulet in one of these glass cases.
And I imagine he described what the
that
amulet
fits
was.
the description that the spider gave you in perfect rhyme.
Okay,
Yeah.
good.
This shit was in iambic pentameter.
It was
That's
poetically perfect.
fascinating artifacts you have here. Perhaps they are all enchanted.
Most
imagine.
of them, yeah. Some of them are pretty dangerous. Like this sword here. He points to it in the glass case. That'll you hit someone with it the wrong way and they're gonna explode.
Oh,
Sorry. Like with the handle or?
No. It's like, if you hit him real good,
do they explode into a pile of sludge of human remains, or do they explode in a fiery and blazing?
it's a fiery explosion. It's like a cone that spreads out from the point that the person is in like a 30-foot behind. It's crazy, man.
Wouldn't that actually be the right way then? Because isn't the purpose of like a sword and a hammer and a weapon to like maim people?
Okay.
He
yeah, you
points
got me.
like.
You're right.
That is what I was saying. You hit them the wrong way. That'd be like with the not
Right.
intentional.
Yeah, if you hit him the
part.
wrong way, I guess. Yeah, hit them wrong with this sword, you're just gonna piss them off. Probably hit them the right way, and they're gonna know you hit it with the sword.
Explode into a gout of fire.
Right.
Which is quite interesting, actually. That's quite funny.
Well, and not to say that, take away from you here, but are these all graduating students' finals that they have made for the school? I mean, I know that's a common practice for many
Oh
arcane
no,
students.
we're not an artificer school here. We
Magic
don't do
shop
enchantments
class.
all that much. This is mostly evocation and good old fashioned.
Boring.
Oh well, I'm sorry.
No, I'm telling you that evocation is quite literally one of the most boring schools of magic. I'm sorry to admit that. But
No, we're actually making some pretty good strides. I got a few research students working on a negative quasi transpiritous fold dynamic that might unlock.
it sounds like a transmutation.
It's
spell.
actually it's a transmutation spell, but using spirit energy on magical folds in the upper hyper realms of magic space.
I understand exactly what it is that you are talking about.
But
Oh,
in
yeah.
an evocation sense, is that what would that do?
Well, see, the idea is, you know how when you cast a spell, you call down the strands of magical, and he just starts explaining everything as you guys are walking through. He stops actually giving the tour, and he just starts talking theory as you guys are walking through the big building. You pass
I'd
many
like to case the
doors.
joint.
All right, yeah,
when we're
yeah.
doing this.
You guys pass many doors. You see some classrooms behind them with teachers lecturing. You pass a cafeteria, a library, and it's all like in a big square. It doesn't have wings. It's just kind of a big circle that has the Hall of Treasures running through it in the center. He brings you back to the main room and finishes off with, and that's why a dodecahedron at the third level of the hex helix is gonna be completely unstable. Anyway, the tour's over. Would you like to come back in a few weeks and give us a lecture?
A few weeks? No, I was thinking perhaps tonight. My companions here and I are not meant to stay in one place for long.
Oh, I'm sorry, it's taco night.
What
that's-
goes better with tacos than a good lecture?
Yeah,
Like, how can you possibly say no to taco night and a good magic lecture night?
Well,
right?
it's
Can I roll persuasion?
yeah, go ahead.
nice.
I love it. Eh? Oh,
I'm gonna roll against it here.
11.
Ooh,
Well, he rolled an
Reasonable
8.
chance.
So he is going to kind of rub his chin and go, all right, if you want to give a lecture on how to do rituals in 6 seconds like you showed me while we're all eating tacos, that's fine.
I could go through the mathematics and the greater algorithms of completing such a thing. However,
Very interested in that.
okay, I don't know how much you'll retain in that amount of time, but I'll give it my best shot. I will. I promise you
Appreciate
that. Would you mind if my companions and I just talk in the room over there for a moment?
Yeah, no, go ahead.
And I point to the artifact room.
Yeah, the Hall of Heroes.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. Yep.
So we'll walk over there, and I'll kind of look over my shoulder at him. Is he paying attention to us at all, or is he like fucked off, or what?
Actually, yeah, he's actually gone into the cafeteria.
Okay, we just lift
Tacos.
this and walk away.
That is, yeah. So, what is the setup here guarding it? The glass case. It sounded like.
Case. It is floating in the center of the glass case, as well. But yeah, and the pedestal that is on is a solid. It looks like stone. That is a perfect square leading all the way to the floor. Or I guess not a perfect square, but like a rectangle. It's solid rectangle leading all the way to the floor. And then the other half is the glass case with the amulet floating in the center.
So here's the thing, right? I don't know if we can ask for payment to be the amulet, right? I don't know if we can do any sort of shenanigans like that, or
Probably not.
find a way to pay it or secure it in any diplomatic sense. If we steal this thing, we are probably most assuredly going to be hunted, and we should leave town.
We were planning on leaving town anyway, right?
Well, we bought an inn,
That's true.
so no, we weren't.
Not like immediately, but I mean eventually. We are passing through on our way to Geara. It seemed that if we were not able to secure paying work, then we would have been moving along fairly quickly anyway. So I think that's not necessarily a requirement that we stay because we pay for the rooms, I guess. It was only a couple gold. If needed. We probably could dip out. But,
We could get him alone, and I could maybe reduce the size of him, and Annabelle could squish him.
that,
I mean,
I could just like
He is kind of a small
bonk
man.
the case and we could walk out with he just like, you know, kind of like pantomimes smacking the
But-
glass with his mane.
yeah, I mean,
I'd like to cast Detect Magic at this point.
That is probably a good call.
'Cause I
I
want
imagine
to-
there is some sort of counter.
I'll spend a spell slot to quicken the time of
Okay.
it, I suppose.
It is an enchantment spell.
Okay, so there it is armed with an enchantment spell.
Yes, or I guess not. Yeah, yeah.
The-
There is an
the
enchantment.
case is,
spell.
right?
Yep. There is
Okay.
an enchantment spell affecting the case.
That is a problem. I have no way of relinquishing the spell put upon this object. My theory is that it will trigger an alarm or an explosion of sorts, one of the two.
What sort of magic is it, I guess?
It's an enchantment. The case is enchanted.
Is it like the School of Enchantment magic, I
Yeah.
guess?
Yeah,
School
yeah.
of enchantment. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Then it is probably not going to explode, right?
Well, anything that is enchanted is mainly it could be, holding it could alarm things, I guess.
Absolutely. Yes, that is true. Regardless, it is protected by some magics, I guess. It is not necessarily important what they are. Shoot. Well, if it is some sort of charm, he kind of like scratches his chin, or other mind-affecting thing, and may be able to be more naturally resistant to it than others might be. Kind of like just gesture,
Perhaps.
like puffs his chest out all big. But he says, it
Is there any runes around, I suppose? The case or anything like that?
Inside the case, subscribed on the face of the pedestal, there is a rune. Yes,
Okay, so it's not reachable without lifting.
without breaking the glass or lifting the glass. Roll me an Arcana check as well.
24.
Nice. It's a hold
too
person
difficult?
rune.
Okay. Okay, so it is enchanted with a hold person rune here. So if you were to try to take the cover off, you would be frozen. Which isn't a problem if I do it, because then Annabelle could just carry me out of here.
That is, yes, I believe that is true. We could just do that. We would still likely be hunted, as you're saying, if there is not some sort of thing which we do. Perhaps we could, I could, any cast minor illusion and creates like a mirror image of himself for a second standing next to him. He said, I could leave a dummy of myself here or in the hall while you're giving your discussion and come here and take it in. Perhaps.
Did you say minor illusion?
Yeah.
Oh, that's like a small size.
5
isn't
foot
it?
cube.
Oh, it's a
5
5
foot
foot cube.
yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
okay. Yeah,
Yep.
okay.
It's not big, but yeah, prestidigitation is
What
like
if
the palm of
you
your
just
hand or
casted
something.
that, and what if you casted the image of that ruby there? Would it stay there? I don't know. I
The
forget.
amulet.
I am
Yeah.
thinking that might not affect whether or not. Well, it would appear that it is still there. At least he
I
says.
think it only lasts a minute, though, right?
Yes, it is not
Okay.
especially long lasting.
Hmm. Well, okay. I think
What-
time's up. We need to make a decision, right?
Yes, if we are going to smash.
what were you saying,
grab, we
Annabelle?
should- Sorry, go ahead.
I mean, What are the chances of convincing him to just open it himself? Just like, hey, this is like a really cool amulet. You want to like
Can we
show it
touch it?
off, and what are the chances that he just does that, and then we could just like knock
then we
him
just
out
kill
and
him.
take it?
Okay, I like it.
That is potentially possible. I think that yes.
Let's
He
go with that. I like
shrugs,
it.
Says he is kind of a dick.
I'm down with this. I look over
Nods.
at the door, like kind of expecting him to come back by now, but is he just leaving us here for whatever time?
I think he went to go get tacos. I might be wrong.
Yeah,
though.
he went to the kitchen. Yeah, he's informing the staff of the changes to the schedule with your sudden
It's not taco time yet.
arrival. And yeah, no, but they're gonna have to make they're gonna push dinner back a little bit, make it a little bit later, so that your speech is.
I love it.
Yeah. Uninterrupted by taco time. And after 5 minutes, he comes back. Is there anything you want to do in that 5 minutes? So it does take him a while.
I might get shillelagh ready, I guess, on one of my
Okay.
clubs, but
Could I?
otherwise- Well, it's like a few minutes. Nah, he won't do that yet. He won't. Yeah, it only lasts a minute.
Okay.
So I'm gonna pet my fox, and I guess I'll store a spell in my fox,
Okay.
for the time that it might be useful.
What?
I'd like to store enlarge reduce
Okay.
on
perfect.
my fox.
Cool. All right. So yeah, 5 minutes passes, and he waddles back inside, and he goes, "All right. Yeah. So everything is set. You're gonna give your speech, and then we're gonna go have tacos."
Cool. Hey, I have a question for you, little guy. So you have like all these really cool armors and weapons, which is like really obvious what they do. What does this little guy do? And I'm gonna point to the amulet.
It's a polymorph amulet. If you figure out how to attune to it, you would be able to take whatever shape that you wanted to for as long as you wore it. I haven't figured out how to attune to it yet. It's some kind of complicated mystery kind of deal. Doing the research.
That's
Sorry.
no, go ahead.
That is fascinating. Perhaps would you mind if I took a crack?
Yes, he is quite an expert in things of this sort, or something like that, I think.
Roll
Yeah,
me-
you know what? Yeah, I'm going to
yeah.
throw a deception to just
Yep.
try and talk up his
Ooh,
expertise.
nice.
He is... Oh, that's not very good. It's rough. 5 on the die. Was it 12 total?
Yeah, let me
I didn't guidance first either, so that's
roll
all
his
it is.
wisdom here.
Yuck. I wish it were better.
All right, he kind of narrows his eyes and then says, "Hey, you're gonna have to prove you know what you're doing before I let you handle that. It's a pretty dangerous item if you don't know what you're doing. It'd turn into like a eldritch monstrosity or something, break your brain. You don't want to be doing that if you don't know what you're doing."
Let's see here.
Let me think here for a sec.
I've
It
got
won't
an
take too long.
idea. But
Have you
What?
say again.
ever tried it?
Yeah, of course.
When was the last time you tried it?
And what happens when you do?
Oh, it just doesn't work. It's just a pretty necklace. Last time I tried it was a few months ago, I guess. Yeah, what's up?
Wayman sort of stretches and cracks his knuckles and just creaks his neck, and he holds up his fingers and does this, and like from the corner, my fox leaps out and tries to tackle the man discharging the spell reduce on him.
Oh man! All right, he's
Forcibly shrinking.
Way.
I mean, he said prove it, right? You know?
Right.
Right.
So he will need to make a check.
Con
All right.
save looks like.
Con, no.
Ha! Wizards are renowned for their
Yeah, that's why.
high con.
That's why I did this.
Yeah.
So he goes, nah!
So now he's 3 times smaller.
Yeah, so he was already
Ooh.
small. He was like a 4.5-foot man.
And
Um,
I'll kind of tower
half
over
all
him
dimensions.
and like sort of lean over, and I say, "So, if you were to take a guess, well, how do you feel about my power now?"
All right, fine. You can take a crack at the amulet. Just turn me back to size.
Okay. Sure. Why not?
Oh, that was I did not like
I'll
that.
drop it. Yeah.
Oh my god. Oh wow. Oh.
I mean, can you do that? I mean, it's kind of an interesting.
No, I said
Okay,
I
Mick, right?
evocation. That's my bag, man.
He is more about blowing things up, correct?
Yes, that's what I like to do. Ooh, that was not. I did not like that. All right,
I mean,
yeah.
he,
I do it all the time
takes-
to Annabelle,
he
but usually I just make her
puts
bigger.
his hands against the glass, and he kind of lowers his head, and then takes the glass off real fast. And he kind of steps back and he goes,
All right, okay.
and then walks over and takes out a like small penknife and scratches some of the rune away, and the amulet falls down. And then he picks it up and hands it to you and goes,
All right, show me what you got.
Okay. Yeah, I just hold it in my hands and I look at the two of you.
Yeah.
Yeah, can I just
Echo
can I
cast
just try to
Shillelagh
knock
from
him
behind
out?
him.
Yeah.
yeah, go ahead. Yeah, you both have
Punch him.
As you're about to do that, I'm like, it may take probably 24 hours for me to figure. And then yeah, you just sort of knock
you
him
both
out.
get an attack and you have advantage.
Joy.
18.
All right, that absolutely hits,
21.
and that hits as well. Yep.
Ugh, only a 5 in the damage.
The question is, do you guys want to kill this man, or do you want to just wound him, just knock him out?
Definitely
Could I-
just unconscious was my goal.
I want to
Can I
knock him
answer?
out, but also like take his memory, knocking him out so hard.
That's
Could I step in and answer?
they're both the ones doing the punching.
Okay,
so no.
yeah, but they're not going to knock him out, or he's not going to be remained knocked out. I'm going to grab my dagger and just fucking slit his
Oh
throat
no.
because I'm triggered a little bit.
So yeah, you both punch him. He falls over, like bounces off the pedestal and falls over. He's moaning on the ground. Yeah, you gonna take out your dagger and
Yeah,
stab
I'm
him?
just gonna take my dagger and just shove it up his jaw, basically.
All right. So you shove your dagger up his jaw, and there is a glowing and a hissing sound from his back. It flashes suddenly, and you have a symbol burned into the back of your hand. Wayman, it doesn't do any damage to you, but it is a symbol of a skull with a dagger going across to the back of it.
Cool. I've
It's
been
like
cursed. Great.
sizzling. Yes.
Oh, cool. I've been cursed, but I don't
That-
care because he, brutally assaulted a child. So,
But you
That
Shall we
is
leave?
a pretty cool looking tattoo. though.
I mean, it is. It actually, it kind of is.
The
Cool.
back of the hand as well, and you did not have to deal with how much it would hurt on that sensitive of an area.
It kind of stings a little bit.
That's unfortunate. We should probably leave, though.
Yep, I
Just
agree.
gesturing back. Did anyone else see us here, aside from him?
No one was in the hallways. It was.
I was gonna say we passed by some classrooms, sort of in session, but generally
yeah,
speaking.
you didn't like knock on the doors or anything like that. So
Okay.
I pull my scarf up and just kind of cover my face a little bit, and I start walking out.
all right, you guys leave the. Yeah, his body is just in the hall of a treasure. The glass case is on the ground, and the pedestal is empty. And yeah, you guys leave. I'm assuming you're gonna make just a beeline to Bernard's well, right?
Yep.
I think that's probably right. Yeah, I don't
All
think we
right.
have anywhere else to go.
So you head there, go down the well and through the tunnels back to the large room called the clubhouse. They didn't actually reference it, but so you walk in and there is actually 6 children there that are all seated around the spider, who is telling them a story right now in rhyme. As you guys come in, they all turn and look at him, and he goes, "Oh, hello. Were you successful in your quest?
You're gonna want to leave soon. And I
Are my
hold
worries
out
put to rest?"
Oh no, you need a lot to worry about, but you should leave.
Weird is not one of those things, I suppose. Directly. Anyway.
Mary stands up.
Sure.
Did you get him?
He is quite gotten, rest assured.
I am glad to hear that it was a success.
I'm gonna set the. I don't know how to give a amulet to a spider, so I'll just set it down on the ground and look at him.
He picks it up in like 2 claws and then puts it on. He closes his eyes and the amulet shines, and he turns into a dark-skinned, bald-headed man. He looks like he's from maybe the like Mehar or the southern coasts. And he's wearing like a robe that goes across his chest, and he kind of smiles and goes, "Ah, it feels so much better to be in this form. I was starting to feel as if the spider was the norm." And
I grab his shoulder and I'm like, all right, between you and I slit a man's neck today, so I kind of got a little upset when I saw the young boy over there, jawless. So you should probably skedaddle.
Very well. Here is your prize. I hope that it is kind to your eyes. And he hands you the spell book.
Thank you very much.
We will leave the city together. From the well's entrance, there is an outlet for stormy weather that exits the wall in Long Lane, where we will be free again.
That may be a good place for us to head as well, if you are not, if that is not an issue.
Of course, please come with us.
Good deal. He was a bad guy, this weird, right?
Yes, he was.
Excellent.
I don't think there was any question whether he was a bad man, Echo.
Well, no, it is
he
just...
broke a child's jaw off.
Well,
so.
one of the things summoned by one of his students did, apparently, is how it was described, I guess. I'm just making sure that this was not someone that tons of people are going to be looking for the murderer of.
Mary goes,
because I believe it was discussed.
Oh, they will. He was the town's wizard.
Sure, yes. He nods.
Yeah.
They did know your name through the Taco Talk issue there. He just kind of scratches his head. You may at least be on the sort of list of suspects, Wayman. We ought to leave as soon as possible as well.
Oh, of course.
Then come take the northern tunnels. We will follow all the refuse that it funnels to our freedom. You guys head out with the 6 children, and the spider turned a man, and it exits out just due north of where the his well was, and you guys are outside the wall. He says, just take the dirt path along the wall, careful that you do not fall, and be on your merry way.
We still have to get Jeffrey.
Yeah, that's fine.
He's
We
at
can get him.
the inn, right? So that should not be too big of an issue.
Probably no reimbursements for our stay, but I mean it was only 4 gold, so
Was it 4 or 2?
I paid him 4.
He paid him 4.
Oh,
as
you
a
did
tip.
give him extra.
Yeah.
That's right.
Yep.
That is true.
All right. Well, you guys skirt along the walls till you get to the Lightbrook Road and follow it up north until you hit the Beggar's Quill. You head upstairs, open the door to your room, and Jeffrey is sitting there, and there's about 3 inches of feathers coating the entire floor of the room. He's standing in the middle, holding the staff, going, "No, no, no, that's not right. Oh, hello.
Hi there. What you doing?
One of the
Start-
pillows just exploded."
This is more feathers than would be contained in all of the pillows in this building.
Yes, all right. The staff did it. I was seeing how many of the hands, kind of uses his mage hand, I could make, and I could only do one. I tried and I tried and I tried, and then all of a sudden the staff started, there were feathers everywhere.
Jeffrey, you have exploded in the past. You need to not be practicing your magic when in close proximity to others.
I'm sorry.
It is dangerous.
I
Us
got it.
alone is one thing. Random innocent bystanders could
That's
be
okay.
the
I'm
murder
excited to
next
sleep
time.
in them though. I'll take the floor.
We're leaving.
We gotta go. Yeah, like we actually don't even have time for this conversation. I just couldn't help myself.
Yeah,
It is quite
Uncle
a
Wayman
lot of feathers.
might have done a bad, so we should probably bounce.
All right.
Oh no, he definitely did a bad. We just
should
can't
bag up some
explain
of
it
these
right now.
feathers. They would
Oh,
make
that's
for
For a
great
fine.
good
pillows.
reason.
Yeah.
Right? I mean, could we have that conversation? Like, I mean, it was an all right
Oh no,
choice,
he
right?
is probably
Yeah.
an asshole.
Yeah, no, like
That
I
is
agree with
undoubtedly.
it. I'm
Okay.
just very shocked by it. Yeah, and she's gonna start piling the feathers in like a
Yeah,
bag.
she's getting a big like
Wayman's-
sack full of.
Wayman's sort of just thumbing his fingers together, like, maybe I didn't need to do that. Oh
As you're
boy.
thumbing your fingers together, you notice that the hand that has the skull on it, one fingernail falls off.
Oh, that's not. Okay, that's not good.
And
I'll cut it off if you want me to.
There's no need. I think I know who I should probably talk to. Not,
Weird.
no, in fact, a lovely woman who gave me flowers might know a thing. I don't know.
And that is where we're going to end the session for the night.
Nice.
All right, guys. Well, thank you very much for joining us. That was the 4th episode of the Misadventures of the Accidental Travelers. Join us next week as we continue their journey towards the mage country of Geara to figure out what's up with Jeffrey's staff. We do this, like I said, every single Friday. Our next stream is going to be on Monday, where we're going to continue the Old for Gold adventure. And join us
Actually,
then at 9:30. Yeah.
Saturday, I believe that Kyle will be going live with some.
Oh,
shit, I
yes.
don't remember what he's streaming. He's playing something. I think it was Near.
Mystery Saturday.
But I don't remember.
Yeah, it
He'll
was
be playing
Nier.
some sort of video game, I believe.
Yeah.
Near that.
So check that
sometime
out.
around noon Eastern.
Yeah,
I think he was saying.
Check that out, guys. And then other than that, we do Table 13 on Thursdays. Talk about role playing stuff, and then that's what we do. Oh, then every other Tuesday we also do Disastronauts. That's right. That's a lot of fun as well. And yeah. Oh,
It's called Nier, N-I-E-R game.
Yeah,
that
that's
Kyle was
iOS on Saturday.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Nier.
All right, guys. Well, we join our Discord if you want to have a bunch of fun conversations with like-minded people that are interested in role-playing. Check out our website if you want to buy some merchandise or some regular dice. And then we have a Patreon where you can throw us a couple of bucks to get some really cool rewards. So thank you again. This has been the Misadventures, and we will see you guys next week. Goodbye.